Roman Reigns is still playing a major role in the Bloodline storyline, while in AEW, Sasha Banks is being called AEW's biggest failure, and Ronda Rousey is not holding back when it comes to attacking WWE. However, when it comes to the Bloodline, WWE is doing a great job protecting them, as a top WWE producer recently bashed their superstars who are envious of The Rock's recent run. Let's slow down a bit and look at why Sasha Banks is AEW's biggest failure. Since her debut in AEW back in March, Sasha haven't done anything worth mentioning in AEW. On the latest episode of the Keeping It 100 podcast, Conan shared his thoughts on AEW's high-profile signings and their impact on the company's financial returns. Conan noted that AEW likely spent a significant amount of money to secure talent, but questioned whether the promotion has seen a meaningful return on that investment. Well, the thing is, you spend a lot of money, we don't know how much, on avocado, right? He means absolutely nothing. As for Ospreay, Conan added, you spent a lot of money on Ospreay. I won't say he means nothing, but so far, you haven't really gotten a return on him, which you should be getting immediately. Conan's most critical remarks were directed at Mercedes Moné, whom he described as the biggest failure among the three. He highlighted her perceived weakness in delivering effective promos, a criticism that has followed her since her WWE days, and Mona's probably been the biggest failure of all. Another bad promo. Do you not see that she's not good on the mic, live or backstage? Disco and I have been saying this about her since she was in WWE. We like her look, we like her wrestling, her swag. She's not good on the mic, and she comes off like a heel. Speaking of failure, Ronda Rousey is another female star who had a lot to offer in wrestling, but failed badly. Rousey criticized WWE for giving only Logan Paul the time and resources to rehearse and prepare, unlike other stars, including herself. She claimed she had an instant classic first match because she had 6 weeks to prepare. Nevertheless, she never got the same opportunity again. Now she is receiving a lot of backlash for avoiding responsibility for her shortcomings and blaming others for her lack of success. On Behind the Turnbuckle podcast, Jonathan Coachman had the following to say about Rousey. She recently touched on Logan Paul and said, "And this is what drives me insane about certain competitors when they blame other things and blame other people. She said this, Tommy, and I want your reaction to it. If I had the preparation time, and I'm paraphrasing, if I have the ability to have the research and the company behind me, and all the time to prepare my matches because I had a great first match because I had that time, then I could have done more great things also." Jonathan Coachman went on to say, "You couple that with Becky Lynch saying she could never wrestle. That first big match was her downfall because everybody expected that. Seeing all of these quotes and the way that it seems like to me, she hasn't taken ownership of anything during her time in the WWE. And that's a little bit frustrating because I didn't see her one time when I was there, not once, walk out to the ring, work out during the day, put in the time when she had all the time in the world. So I don't bother passing the buck, do you?" Ronda Rousey retired from professional wrestling for good, but has been labeled a bitter woman for her negative comments. Another star associated with negativity, Matt Riddle, known for his problematic actions which lead to his WWE release. Riddle recently mentioned that his initial idea of teaming up with Orton as RK Bro was met with skepticism and laughter from the writing team. Weeks before this, I suggested we tag as RK Bro, and the writing team just kinda laughed at me, which most of my ideas they laugh, and then like 2 weeks later, they'll be like, "Hey, I think we gotta do this." And I'm like, "Sounds awesome." I don't even bring it up to them. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton's team was amazing. One would argue WWE has another amazing team up in Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The stars have been dominant ever since they're teaming up. Just recently on Instagram, Belair shared a new set of backstage photos featuring herself and Cargill. The EST sent a warning the rest of the women's division in the process. "Who gonna stop us?" wrote Belair. Speaking at a Fanatics Live signing at WWE World, the EST praised for tag team partner. Belair believes that Cargill handled the pressure quite well and kept herself composed throughout the match. She said, "I thought it was great. It's one thing to be able to debut in WWE, but when you're debuting at WrestleMania, but she handled it. She was just calm, cool, and collected. She handled it. I think it just speaks volumes of what's expected of her and what we're going to see of her in the future and the potential she has. It's exciting." You know what else would be exciting? It's witnessing a match between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. In a recent video on his YouTube channel, Mick Foley made sure we know exactly what he thinks of Ripley. The Hall of Famer stated the following: "Here, the Foley family really thought highly of her since the first time she premiered when we saw her Royal Rumble 2019, Foley said. I've written stories about her saying WWE really had to treat her like the special entity that she is. I'm the first to say, look, I knew she needed special treatment. I didn't know it was gonna be this good. This was bigger and better than anything I could have conceived." Regardless of how long she is out of action, Mick Foley believes the Judgment Day UK member's popularity will skyrocket when she returns. We've watched Mami just grow from a superstar into an iconic entity. I have to believe she's gonna come back better than ever and more popular than ever. Rhea Ripley is an icon indeed, but can she reach The Rock's level? A lot of WWE superstars were very upset about Rock's recent WWE run and the fact that he got most of the spotlight doing whatever he wanted. WWE producer Shane Helms discussed whether any WWE superstar should feel that The Rock has taken their spot. Helms made it clear that The Rock is on an entirely different level compared to other stars and has his spot reserved for whenever he chooses to make an appearance. He stated that everyone must accept this reality. Well, first of all, The Rock ain't taking nobody's spot. The Rock's spot is solidified. If he wants to show up, that's his spot. That's just how it's gonna be, and people have to recognize that. That's the same in any form of entertainment. You go to a comedy club, if Dave Chappelle shows up, somebody might get bumped. That's just how it's gonna be. That's just how it is. When you got the level, you know, stars have gravity. That's why they're stars. Nice little metaphor there. And when you got the kind of gravity that The Rock has, that's gonna bring in these outside eyes and attention that he brings in, man. That's just part of the game, and you gotta learn to accept that. The Rock made sure he fully expressed himself in his recent message to Ricochet. Peter Mayfield, also known as the High Chief, was the grandfather of The Rock. During his time in WWF, Mayfield established himself as one of the biggest stars in the company. He retired from professional wrestling in 1982. As he focused on his battle with cancer. Ricochet posted his late grandfather, and The Rock had to express his love. One of one. Love you, Uso, Rock commended. Ricochet, however, made it known what he thinks The Rock's intentions are with Roman Reigns, and trust me, they are not positive. Ricochet said the following: I kinda see a War Games. I kinda see somewhere down there The Rock turning on Roman Reigns. Rock becomes the heel, Roman comes back as the babyface. I kinda see the Bloodline family members spread up and take sides. And then I kinda see something huge as far as War Games or some type of gimmick matches amongst each other. They would probably want to build that up for the next WrestleMania. I believe they have it in Minnesota, Ricochet said. The Rock's future with Roman Reigns is worrying. But Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are not worried about their new challengers, the Street Profits. Theory claimed that despite the Street Profits coming for their gold, nothing would change and they would hold on to the WWE Tag Team Championship for as long as they wanted. It's just still mind-blowing to me that you interrupt us, the greatest undefeated tag team champions of all time. Brand new championships for the first time ever. Nobody's ever had these. And then you come in here and you're talking about two randoms. Sure, they got a #1 contender match, sure. But guess what's gonna happen? That and this, it's not gonna change. We're the champs, and we're forever the champs. And the time that we put away these tag team championships is when we feel like it. When we want to put them on the shelf on plaque in our house, Austin Theory said. Their statement isn't surprising considering the two stars defeated the Street Profits earlier. And Waller took some time to remind fans. We said a few weeks ago when we beat them that we are the smoke. So if they want the smoke, we got it for them. We are just gonna roll through them again. Undefeated tag team champions, this is gonna be a long time running. Roman Reigns' reign isn't gonna be anything close to ours, Grayson Waller said. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller might not be losing their titles soon, but the same can't be said about Seth Rollins, who lost his title at WrestleMania. That's not the only bad news about Seth Rollins. You might have noticed Seth Rollins was limping after WrestleMania 40 Night 2. Well, there's good news and bad news. Ringside News got clarification from a senior member of the WWE creative team, who confirmed that Rollins limping was part of the storyline and that Rollins had been performing while nursing injuries for some time. Rollins is slated to take hiatus from WWE, with expectations suggesting an absence of around a month. Seth Rollins' Shield brother, Roman Reigns, is also absent from WWE TV. His case is slightly worse than that of Seth Rollins. Reports from WrestleVotes indicate that Roman Reigns is going to step away from WWE television for an unspecified period. However, his impact on the evolving Bloodline narrative will remain profound as he continues to wield substantial creative input behind the scenes. I'm told that although Roman Reigns will be off TV for an indefinite period of time, he will still have substantial creative input in the evolving Bloodline storyline over the course of the next few months, stated a source. When Ringside News and side sources reached out on insights into the planning of the Bloodline storyline, the response was very exciting. A handful of WWE staff members, including Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koskey, Ryan Callahan, and Michael Hayes are in control of the storyline. All things Bloodline have already been decided by Levesque, Rowan, and Heyman. They are keeping it tight, but certain people like Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koskey, Ryan Callahan, Michael Hayes are in the loop. Roman Reigns is currently working on a movie.